Hello, welcome to Dungeon Dwellers Podcast. I'm your host Justin. Today we're reviewing Jupiter's Legacy Book 2 for Image Month, which is getting reprinted into 4 volumes by Netflix, where they are also including the prequel series Jupiter's Circle, which I have no interest in reading other than for the Skyfox. Maybe if I could pick up for cheap, maybe I'll read it just to check out like Skyfox's scenes, because he seems like kind of a cool character. And for reasons why I'm going to get into, we didn't get, in my opinion, we did not get enough of him. So like all my comic reviews, there's going to be spoilers. I'm sorry, but if you want to know my rating, it's a 7.5. Not as good as the first volume, in my opinion, but still a great book. The ending could have been better, and the guy, he's Mark Millar, obviously the writer who's done the Ultimates, Ultimate X-Men. He's more commonly known for doing lately Kick-Ass and what's it called? It's right here, Kingsman, which I haven't read. It looks stupid to me. The first Kingsman movie was alright in my opinion. The second one just looks so dumb. And he's like, you had like some bullshit where the main villain wants to legalize all drugs, and then makes the point where like, oh, sugar is more addictive and harmful than most drugs, which is like, I'm addictive to sugar, and I have not broke into like relatives' houses to steal valuables to sell it so I could buy more sugar. It's like, you fucking dumb retard. It's like so fucking retarded. I don't know. It's the thing where like all the people who have the all drugs should be legal argument. It's like, go look at Portugal, and you tell me if that's a good idea. Because Portugal is like, it's not illegal to do drugs, but it's illegal to sell drugs, right? Because they see it like as like drug addiction is like a mental health issue. You shouldn't punish drug addicts, but you should punish the drug dealers, which the drug addicts will, depending on how far gone they get into their addiction, are going to commit real crimes so they can get the fucking money to do more drugs. So if you're like locking them up early, getting them clean, because there are a lot of people who said, I didn't get clean until I got locked up in jail. Like people like what's his name, Robert Downey Jr. He said, he's like, there's a quote of his where like, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was like, it wasn't until I was locked up in jail where I realized, oh shit, the Republicans have a point. Have points. And then some Indian Indian British dude on BBC or whatever tried to ambush him and expose him for being like a Republican. He's like, ah, fuck you, buddy. I don't give a shit. He was like, fuck you, buddy, I don't give a shit. I think that's what he said. I can't remember. So the story for this, basically, our heroes are gathering supervillains and superheroes that are on the run using Jason's the kid, right? Using Jason's machine, which can locate people with meta genes. You see one character get exposed for having superpowers, getting locked up. A giant girl, right? So they gather up supervillains. They have a really cool epic fight with this Japanese superhero who's working for the Saudi princes, who have uh, imprisoned this one supervillain. He's like this Indian guy whose abilities are he can steal other people's superpowers, which is obviously going to be a big help when they finally fight Walter Brennan, who fucked up the country. And because they banned religion, you now have the Christians, the Muslims have formed an alliance, and they try to nuke and kill Brandon, who's the son of Utopian. Who's like the Superman figure that Brandon, his son, and Utopian's brother Walter killed, so they can take over the country. They're fucking shit up worse than it was before. You finally see that there's a strained relationship going on between like Walter and Brandon. It's finally revealed that Walter had always planned on killing Brandon at some point and like taking over the country for himself, right? So our heroes also try to recruit Hutch's father, Skyfox, who was a member of the Utopian's original team, who got branded as a supervillain because he tried to take down the banking system. He's he's one of those guys who's like, we've been fighting criminals when we really should have been like we've been cleaning up the streets when really we should have been cleaning up the Oval Office or whatever, right? Like he's like an anti-elite kind of guy, not as communistic as Walter, but like it's hard to say politically where Skyfox is at, because you don't have to be left wing to be anti-elite, right? Because like there are like elites out there who are like complete like douchebag, power hungry douchebags that don't care about the people, only care about enriching themselves, empowering themselves. They don't give a shit about the country, and that's why like a lot of Western countries is going to shit, right? Because you have these trader elites who don't give who don't give a shit about the country, right? And that, so like I can kind of see like Skyfox's point of view. You get like a really sweet flashback to Skyfox meeting Hutch when he was a kid. Hutch is playing with his toys and watching the real Ghostbusters, and like the Skyfox is like, "What are you watching?" He's like, "The real Ghostbusters." "Why is it called real when it's a cartoon?" And he's like, "I don't know." The reason why is because there was already a Ghostbusters TV show, and they also had a cartoon. So when the Ghostbusters wanted to have their own cartoon, they had to change the name enough so they wouldn't get sued. And that's why you have this. It's called the Real Ghostbusters. So like after that, our characters go to see Skyfox. He's hanging out in like some old Russian military base where they have like where they recorded everything ever like aired on American TV on VHS tapes. So he's just watching old VHS tapes. Like this guy has like superpowers where he can like build anything out of technology, right? He turned like Hutch's power rod is made from like a flashlight and like some like tin foil or whatever. And Hutch's power rod, for people who don't know, can like teleport people and can shoot like a laser beam kind of thing, right? Which you see him use in fights. Yeah, after, like, there's a scene where, like, Jason is talking to his grandfather, and his grandfather is like, "How did you turn out so well?" And he's like, "My dad didn't abandon me." And this triggers Sky Fox, and he kicks him out, but eventually he does join the team, and they get discovered by Walter's son, who found Jason's prototype metagene scanner and rebuilds it, and they attack the base. Our heroes split up, one to fight the supervillains, or sorry, the superheroes in power, Walter and Brandon, and Jason and the Adam lesbian ripoff character. There's like a lesbian ripoff of Adam in here, who's dating a black chick with lightning powers, which is, why is superhero comics, there's like, you have like, they always have like a black character with lightning powers. I don't get it, because like you had that in, obviously, you had that with Black Lightning from DC Comics, Static Shock from Milestone Comics, which is now owned by DC. You also had like, I can't remember. I think his name was Volt, but I can't remember. You had a character like that in Irredeemable, right? But like, you just assume like, oh, he was like, because you have a lot of DC character ripoffs in like Irredeemable, so you just assume that he's like a ripoff of a Black Lightning, which he even has kind of a similar costume. Not really. Color scheme maybe, but I don't know. Well, whatever, right? Basically, our heroes fight the bad guys, and they eventually win. There's a cool scene where like civilians are getting caught in the crossfire, and like Brandon tells Chloe, because you also have a fight with Chloe and Brandon, which most of it you miss, by the way, because you're busy. There's Hutch fights Walter, right? So like you'll have some scenes where like it'll switch to Chloe and Brandon, but really it just most of it just cuts back to Hutch's fight, which obviously Hutch's fight is probably going to be more entertaining, because you have a guy who doesn't have superpowers fighting a guy who's like maybe like the third or fourth most powerful character in this universe. You did see like him fight Sky Fox, but like that's one of my complaints. Spoiler alert. They hype up Sky Fox so much, saying like, it took like 100 heroes to beat him down, right? He finally fights Walter, and Walter practically one-shot Sky Fox, right? Which really pissed me off, because Sky Fox, is probably the coolest character. And we also need to talk about how, like, Mark Millar basically, they just ripped off Big Daddy costume from the Kick-Ass movie for like Sky Fox's costume, well, mostly the helmet and mask, which you can't tell me is not a rip-off of Kick-Ass's of Big Daddy's costume from Kick-Ass, right? Which, if you read the original Kick-Ass comic book, you know that Big Daddy didn't even really have a costume in the Kick-Ass comic book. He had like a scarf over his face or some shades on or some shit like that. Which, that costume was really cool in the movie. In the comic book, it looks kind of out of place, to be honest. And then there's the fact that this guy's like, he's basically Batman with superpowers, and it's kind of like lame, to be honest. Cause like, I don't know. I like Sky Fox. Though like his name is stupid, and you know, his costume's a little stupid, to be honest. But he came off like a cool character, and I thought like Mark Millar, one of his greatest strengths is that he's very imaginative on how to use like characters' superpowers, and he's very great at like action scenes. Early on in his career, like he wasn't as good. Like, you know, Ultimate X-Men and Ultimates had some bad fight scenes, but like nowadays, like I would say, I can't remember when I would say exactly he got good at action scenes. Maybe around like the Civil War and the Old Man Logan era, but yeah, now he's really great, or at least in this book he's really great with action scenes, like how he finally especially how like Hutch uses his power rod, and that he figures out like, oh, I can one shot Walter with my power rod if I just have it teleport into his fucking brain. That was a fucking awesome scene. And yeah, I don't know. But it's funny because like once they kill Walter, the tide magically turns. Well, that, and you had like Jason show up with the escaped supervillains, right? So that, you know, and it was like, I really like, there was a nice touch where you had the giant girl shows up and immediately goes to kill what's his name? I can't remember the guy. Something Wolf, the guy who like exposed her for being for having superpowers and tried to lock her up. Like, she got her revenge scene. And also the fight scene with the Japanese superhero who is like bragging about, like, she came off really fucking dumb too. I was like, she's like bragging about, it doesn't take a genius to know my dad was Walter Sampson, or I don't even know what his superhero name was. Let's look it up. Walter Sampson superhero name. I bet it's something stupid. Like, a lot of the superhero names are stupid, to be honest. Then again, all the good ones have been taken. I can't even, it's not even showing it anywhere. Did he never have a... Huh. Oh, did the show already fucking come out? Yeah, it's not showing it. Did Jupiter Legacy already come out? No way, did it? Because I don't have Netflix. No, it's coming out this year. Okay. Yes. Oh my god, they have fucking Matt Lanter playing Hutch. That sucks. Oh my god. Oh, and one critique. I did not like the fact that Chloe had no eyebrows, even when she was like in her like secret identity form, outfit. Like, could they not like draw like, you know, like draw like eyebrows for her, like, even like, because like a lot of girls like will like, mostly Latina girls will do this, where they shave their eyebrows and then they'll just draw it on. Like, could she not do that when she's in her secret identity? I don't know. But yeah, I would say it's a 7. This book is a 7.5. Not as good as the first book, but it was still a very enjoyable book. You had like, you gotta keep in mind that each volume is like 5 issues. I forgot to mention that in the first um, the first review. So like you're not getting a lot of, you know, time to flesh these characters out, which I thought, you know, the books should have been like, it should have been like a 12 to 14 issue miniseries at least, but you know, he kept it to 10 for some reason. Which in the end of this book, he sequel baits a sequel called Jupiter's Legacy Requiem coming 2019. Well, guess what? It's 21 now. And I looked it up. Apparently, he didn't start working on this till um like last year, so it's probably not, and it's like obviously not out yet because I looked it up. So I don't know. He's still working on it, but like once that comes out, I'm definitely going to review it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to pick up more Mark Millar books. Like I want to pick up Superior Nemesis. Well, I have the first two issues of Nemesis. And I want to pick up Starlight because that looks like a space opera, and that could be cool. But Jupiter's Circle, I'm definitely not gonna pick that up unless I can find it for cheap because I hear it's more of a soap opera, and I kind of did not like how, like you're like, because the book is basically a prequel, but it's basically just like, you know, showing that, oh yeah, the first generation of superheroes weren't actually that great because like apparently like Utopian was like adulterer and shit, and it's like, oh my god, you had the one guy who's a closeted homosexual, and like what was the other people's problems? That was in this one. Where's the preview? Oh, you also have some alternate covers by Brian Hitch, which did not look that great, to be honest. Like, Brian Hitch is not as great as he used to be, but it's still, you know, his art still looks cool. Where is it? Who gives a shit? It's not important. But, oh, here it is. Closeted, lonely, alcoholic, cheater, envious, perfect. Maybe envious. Wasn't Walter envious? I don't fucking know. Also, they show off Blue Bolt. So, like, Blue Bolt's in Jupiter's Circle. Apparently, that was like Hutch dad asked him like when he was a kid, who's your favorite superhero, and he said Blue Bolt, because Blue Bolt also had like a power rod, and that's where like Skyfox got the idea to make him a power rod. Yeah, so I don't know. I have nothing else to say. We'll be lucky if this review gets like 2 views, because like the first one only got like 1. It's been like a whole day. Oh well, what can you do? Alright, guys, peace. Oh, our next Image Month review is going to be Retro Rocket. I've been putting it off long enough. It's time to review that. Alright, peace.